Hello and assalamu alaikum guys, how are you doing? I hope everything is fine on your side. While learning English language, everyone faces two kind of problems. First is understanding native speakers and second is talking in English language just like them. And these both problems need to be solved as soon as possible by just practicing and by following some techniques and some strategies that could be helpful for you in solving these problems. And today I'm going to discuss about some basic rules and techniques that will be really helpful for you in solving these both problems. The main topic of this video is about American accent. Because I know there are two main accents, or you can say the most famous accent that have been spoken by millions of people living in this world. And these two famous accents are first is British and the second is American. And these both accents are not that much difficult to understand or to learn, but you need some techniques and some strategies to understand them and to learn them in a better way in a short period of time. So today I'm going to discuss about 3 basic rules to learn American accent. Because for me, if I compare both of these accents, the American and British, the American one is more simple, or you can say it's easy one to understand. If you want to adopt an accent, then that will be really great for you, because as a beginner we always face a problem to understand native speakers and to speak just like them. But by adopting accent, it will make your life easier in English language and in speaking, because in that condition you will be able to speak with that with fluency and with confidence. But before going toward our main content, I want to tell you something over here. I want to clear a confusion over here, because mostly whenever I try to tell something about accent and about English language to people, I get a simple and very easy question from them. And maybe you guys also have this question in your mind, that why it's important to learn a new accent, or why we need to adopt a new accent. They ask me that if I'm talking to a person and the person is getting each and everything, every content, every single word that I'm discussing with that person, then why we need to adopt different, or you can say American or British accent. Why we need it? So here's very simple and very easy answer for this question is that it's fine, it's okay if you want to maintain your own accent. But the fact that why it's really important to understand and why it's important to learn a new accent or American or British accent, because sometimes when the native speakers are talking to you, their way of speaking and their way of pronunciation and the word and the method that they use in the speaking, it's a little bit different, or you can say it's much more different from ours, because it's not our native language. We have to learn it, right? So mostly they use some sentences, the way of speaking, that's a little bit difficult for us. We can't even understand them slightly. Sometimes it's happened, that's a fact. So the reason that why we need to adopt a new accent, or why we need to adopt American or British accent, to understand the native speakers as much as we can. So it's really important to learn an American accent for understanding the native speakers, because the more you will be familiar with the rules and the techniques that they use in their speaking skills, the more it will be easy for you to understand them and to communicate with them in a better way. Another question that I got from people is that how long it will take me to adopt a new accent. So for my brothers and for my sisters, I want to give you a tip that if you want to adopt a new accent or if you want to learn a new language, it's not that easy. You can never make success in few days or in few hours. It will obviously take time, and you have to practice on daily basis. You have to give your much more efforts, you have to practice, and after that it will be easy for you to learn and to make success in that. But if you're asking this question, then as a beginner it will take about 2 to 3 months to learn a new accent, or you can say to be better in American accent. But in these 2 to 3 months you have to practice on daily basis without having any break in your practice and without having break in your efforts. Then and only then you can be better, you can learn American accent in a better way. So these are my 2 questions that I got from people, and I hope this will be really helpful for you. If you have these questions in your mind, then these can clear them all. So now I'm going to discuss about 3 basic rules that are important to learn American accent. And if you guys are interested, keep watching this video. Hello, my name is Huria and you're watching my H Learning Studio. So let's begin with the first rule, or you can say rule number 1, that's really important to learn American accent. And the first rule is focus on syllables. These syllables are considered a very simple thing in English language, but these are really important to build an accent of a person. A syllable is all about creating some kind of sound that the native speaker create while speaking and while pronouncing a single word. For example, let me give an example for that so that you can understand it in a simple and in a better way. So for example, the word is America. Can you guys guess how many syllables it have? It have 4 syllables in it. America, or you can say the American. In this rule of syllable, among all the syllables of a word, only one gonna have stress and stretch in it. For example, if this American word or this American word have 4 syllables, so one of these syllables will have stress and stretch in it. For example, instead of saying America, the native speaker pronounce it like America. Mostly as a beginner, we pronounce this word as America, like America. But native speaker pronounce it like America, America. So the basic difference is that in all these 4 syllables, we have stressed and we have pressed the second syllable. And just because of that, it has created some kind of stretched sound on this word. Like instead of saying America, it sounds like America. That's the basic difference. And I recommend you guys to listen to native speakers and to notice this technique in them, because the more you will notice, the more you will analyze the technique, the more you will get information and you can learn it in a better way and easily. So the rule number 2 is focus on the use of T in American accent, because in American way of speaking, in way of English speaking, the use of T is not that simple as you guys are considering it. There are too much rules and regulations, and you have to place the T in a specific conditions, and you have to use it in a specific locations, and there are many things to be discussed. But don't worry, today I'm going to discuss all about those things in a simple way as much as I can. Here are 3 basic positions, or you can say 3 basic rules to use T in a word. The first way to pronounce the T is that if the T is present between 2 vowels, like for example, if we consider as butter or cutter, so in this condition, T will replace with D. Like you don't need to pronounce the word as butter, you can pronounce it as butter, like butter. Butter. In the case of cutter, you don't need to pronounce it as cutter, you can say it as cutter. That's the most simple thing to replace it. Second way to pronounce the T in the word is that if the T is present between an N and second letter is vowel, then the T will be mixed. It means you don't need to pronounce the T. For example, if we consider a word international, in this word, T is present between N and E. So in this condition, you don't need to pronounce the word as international. You have to say international. International. Oh, here I want to repeat the first rule again, like syllable. In this word international, third syllable have the stress and stretchness in it. Like instead of pronouncing it international, you can say it international. International. Here's one thing, you don't need to stretch this too much. Like you don't need to say it international. It will look a little bit funny and a little bit strange. So pronounce it as simple as you can. That will look natural. That can look good while your communication. So be natural. So the rule number 3 is focus on the use of R in American way of English speaking, or you can say it in American accent. Just like T, R also have some different position and different rules to be used in the American way of speaking. And we have to pay focus on these conditions and the situations when we have to use the letter R in between the word and at the end of this word. There are 2 basic conditions for the use of this R. First is when we use this word in the world, not exactly the word, like in the word. And the second condition is when we use the word R at the end of the word. So let's discuss both of them. In the first condition, when we use the word R in between the word, like for example, if we consider the word as world, in this we are using R in between the word, like WORLD, world. When we're using the R in that condition, it creates some kind of different sound, and it can also change the sound of the word. Like in American accent, we don't need to pronounce the word as world. It will sound like world. Like it's so simple, and so in a linear and a simple way, you can say it like world instead of saying world. So I think it's a little bit confusing, but it will be okay with the practice. As much as you will consider, as much as you will pay your time, pay your attention on it, it will be easy for you. So the second condition is that when R is being used at the end of the word, it's a really important rule to be focused, because when the R is used at the end of the word, it needs more focus. For example, if you will say that I have parked my car over here, but the native speaker will pronounce it like I have parked my car over here. Car. They will never say the R in a very simple way like car. Here exactly we have to pronounce it because we are a beginner and English is not our native language. But if we are learning an accent, then we have to pay focus on this word. In English or in American English, R play an important role in changing the accent of the people. And you can also notice while listening to native speakers on the YouTube and wherever you are listening to them, you have to pay focus on their way of speaking, like how they're using the word R in the conversation, and you will focus and you will see a basic difference in their way of pronouncing and their way of using the R. So in this example, they will never say like the word car, they will pronounce it like car. And the end of this word, they will produce a kind of sound like R. Instead of saying R, they will say R. That will create a different sound and that will create a different accent if you will follow all these rules. So let me say it again for you guys. So instead of saying I have parked my car over here, native speaker will say, or you guys can also say in American accent in that way. I have parked my car over here. I have parked my car over here. It's a very simple thing, but you need to pay focus, you have to practice, and that will make you more perfect and that will make your learning more easy. So it was all about the 3 basic rules that I want to share with you guys so that you can get the information and that could help you in improving and adopting an American accent. Because I know that mostly people face a problem that they become nervous and they feel a little bit confused and why they're not getting improved so easily and so quickly in just few days or few hours. Just keep one thing in your mind, guys, that whenever you will try to do something for the first time, you will obviously feel a little bit confused and you will feel that you're not getting better so easily. Because we have to adopt, we have to focus on many things, we have to adopt many techniques to get better. But with the passage of time, you will be better, you will be improved, you will be a master in it. So be relaxed and wait for the perfect time and just keep practicing as much as you can so that you can be better and you can be perfect in that field. And this is not the only video about accent. I'm gonna make a series of videos on about the accent so that these can help you in building your accent step by step in an easy way. So just wait for all the other videos that is coming next in few days, and that will be really helpful for you in improving your accent also. So inshallah, see you soon in my next video. Till then, take care, goodbye.